Hi everyone, I'm Danny and I am the Kidtropolis educator here at Children's Museum Houston. So for those of you who have been to visit us, you already know that Kidtropolis is our kids city. It's for kids, it's run by kids, and it is the place where kids then make decisions about where they want to work or what job they want to take on and what they want to do with the money that they earn. So of course in Kidtropolis there are a lot of different jobs available. You can choose to deliver packages, you can manage a grocery store, you can work as a police officer or a veterinarian or a city planner or a bicycle designer. There are so many different jobs to choose from. And the cool thing is, in Kidtropolis, when you work, you earn a paycheck. You earn money, that's your income, and then you get to decide what to do with all of the money that you earn, whether you want to spend it, save it, share or donate it, or invest your money. And you can do all of these things here in Kidtropolis. Now, for my friends who are at home, these are still skills that you can work on. So any money that you might receive, whether it is earning an allowance or getting a birthday gift of money, or it's money that you get for doing extra work, or maybe even having your own sort of entrepreneurial business, like if you have a lemonade stand or something like that, all of this money is your income. Now, what you choose to do with that money, that's up to you. So it's always a good idea to create a goal for what you want to do with any money that you have. If you just sort of spend your money without thinking about it, you may discover that you don't have money for things that you really need. So if there's something small that you've been wanting to buy, like a book or something like that, that's money you might choose to spend. If there's something you might need to save up for, like if you really wanted a super cool Lego set, that would be something you could choose to do. Maybe you want to be able to donate or share some of your money with a place like an animal shelter or a hospital or a religious or community organization. And maybe there's money that you don't want to spend at all right now. You just want to save it for more kind of long-term future goals, whether that is someday buying a car or paying for college. And this is money that you might be able to even invest to help it earn extra money, and we'll come back to that. So setting goals for what you want to do with your money is a really important step to help you plan and prepare so that you can reach those different goals. Okay, so what I'm going to show you today is how you can actually build a piggy bank that you can use to budget your income to help you make sure that you help meet those goals by sorting it into different areas for spending, saving, sharing, and investing. Here's what you'll need to do this project at home. You will need some sort of a container, preferably one with a lid. So I'm just using an empty oatmeal container here, but really any sort of cylindrical container with a lid, that's just great. You're gonna want something that we can insert inside to divide it into 4 different areas, 4 quadrants, if you will. So I've got some cardboard here. I have already pre-cut my cardboard, and I'm going to show you what I did. I cut my cardboard so that it is the diameter, the same diameter as the inside of my container, and also the same height as the inside of my container. I cut 2 pieces the exact same way. Excuse me, 2 pieces the same way, and then right in the middle I cut a slit going halfway down. And let me show you what happens when I put these 2 things together. It's amazing. Now I have this sort of X shape, and when I insert this inside my container, and this takes a little bit of sort of wiggling to get it in because I want it nice and tight inside, so if I put something like coins, they don't accidentally move from one designated area to the next. There we go. Now I've got this down right inside, and if you look in here, I now have 4 set spaces. Now, if you want to be really extra careful, you can even add a little bit of tape or glue to make sure that, like, if I dropped a penny in here, it didn't accidentally slide from one of the areas into the next area. But if you've got it nice and tight wedged in here, that's probably okay for you as well. Now for my lid, I have also already done this step, but I cut out 4 little slots and I measured them with a quarter so that I knew that I would at least be able to fit a quarter inside. If I'm putting something bigger in, I can always take the lid off, no big deal. But this is definitely something that you will need an adult to help you do. It's really tough to do with scissors, so I ended up using something a little bit sharper, and I would have an adult do this step at home, okay? Make sure we're being safe. When I line this up on the top, let's see if everybody can see this. Cool, you can, great. So you can actually see through the lid here, because I have a plastic lid. I can drop money in each of these 4 spots, and guess what? It goes into my designated space. Ta-da! Now, this still kind of looks like an oatmeal container, which isn't that exciting. So you may also choose to do a little decorating here. I have some scissors, I have some tape, I have some markers, and I have just some colored construction paper. You can use plain paper if you want to do even more decorating. And again, I've already sort of pre-measured this. I'm going to take my lid off just so that I get this all the way up to the top. I already pre-measured my paper here. Wanted to kind of skip a couple of steps, but I know you guys can do this at home. Hold it up to your container to get the right height, or if you really, really want to be very accurate about it, getting a ruler out, measuring it, drawing the lines on the paper before you cut. Always a good math skill to practice at home. And all I did was I taped it to the box, wrapped it around, and taped it together. Boom. Now it looks a little fancier, a little bit less like breakfast food. All right. Now I can put this lid back on the top here. And the last step I need is I just need to write what each of these areas is for. So this is where my Sharpie markers are really helpful. You could also just write on a piece of white paper if you have like colored pencils or something that isn't a permanent marker like this. You can just write it on a piece of paper and tape that to your lid, or even tape it to the outside of your box. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna have my spend, and I'll show you this in just a moment. And I'll do this in different colors for fun. I'll go with save. And then I'm gonna say I'm gonna share. And finally, invest. Do, 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 do. Boom. There's my piggy bank. I've got my spend and my save and my share and my invest. This can be where I put my money moving forward. Now, you are the ones who have to decide how you separate that money, because that is up to you. Now for younger kids and adults, I'm kind of talking to you a little bit here, but younger kids, it's okay for them to put more money into the spend area, because sometimes it's a little bit harder to think about midterm and long-term goals when you're really, really young. So if we're putting more money, like maybe if we're putting half the money into the spend area where we know that we can just spend that on something that we want that's little from the store, that's totally fine, as long as we're still putting some money in the other areas and we know what that money is going towards. So again, we know what our goal is. Now, we want to make sure that we are putting, if we're thinking about the save, that's more like a midterm goal. The investing, that's more of a long-term goal, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. And then sharing, that's also up to you. Everybody's got their own priorities in terms of what they want to do with their money. Now, for those who are interested in learning more about investing money, we have some great opportunities to do that here in our bank. So for example, I am in our Merrill Edge investment office here in Kidtropolis, and this is a place where kids can learn about different options for investing their money at a banking institution. So for example, we've got these cards here, probably a little tricky to read at home, but we talk about different options for investing. Like for example, there's things called CDs or certificate of deposits, bonds, you may have heard of stocks before, mutual funds. There's a lot of different investments, and each of them has some risks and rewards associated with them. But this is also something that if you have somebody who's a little bit older who wants to learn about investing, not only can you learn about how to do it here in Kidtropolis, but you can even actually start to invest your money as well, like I said, with a banking institution to help your money earn interest. And that means that your money earns money. So that's pretty cool, right? We want to have our money grow as best we can. So this is our way of helping us reach our goals with the money that we earn by deciding what we want to actually put that money towards. And it's also a pretty fun way to be creative, to use some materials that we might be able to just find around the house that might normally end up in the trash or in the recycling to create something rather cool. So thank you all very much for joining me here today to practice our personal financial literacy skills and to make these banks to help us reach our financial goals. And we certainly hope to see you all in Kidtropolis very soon. Have a great day. Bye.